Hey, it's your boy Matt, back again for another Lighthouse Labs. Maybe, okay, so maybe that style of YouTube's not for us, but we are back here in the labs, and I've got something really, really cool, really exciting. Been waiting a little bit to show you, but not only do we have the unit that we're going to talk about today, we got a brand new one that we get to unbox together. Who doesn't love an awesome unboxing video? With us today is the Fanvil Linkvil all-in-one conference room solution. Now, if you're familiar with a barcode click share or any type of screen sharing system, this is a cost-friendly version of those systems, and it'll make sense why. Like with the barcodes, you could have 4 different people share a screen and work together and highlight and collaborate. This is very much more one-to-one, but how often do you find yourself in a conference room wanting to share something on the screen? And I know we've tried to put our PC in there and but you can never find the document you're looking for. You can never find the settings or because it's just not your machine. This fixes that. If you've got a laptop or portable device, I mean, I guess if you wanted to haul your desktop around too, you could as well. But you literally just bring this in, you hook it up, and you can mirror any screen to any HDMI input. So let's take a look at it right here with our friend, the CA400. I dig this. It's all 4K, including a camera, so you can do web meetings, things like that. And yeah, gosh, enough talking, Matt. Let's dig right in. Okay. They went a little fancy, by the way, on the packaging materials with the Linkvil. So go ahead and I'll set it down. It opens up. Start off, right? It's not bad for a company that is known for being more on the frugal side. It's a reasonably priced unit. It's probably $500-600 and really works. There's an installation guide. We've got one of these in our office, so sometimes we've got to use this. Fast forward to the part where we use this. Okay, so we have our guide. We have the meat and potatoes. This is the device that actually plugs right into your computer. So we'll go ahead and we'll pull this out. Here's our all-in-one conference broadcaster. And so what this is going to do, this will connect into the computer by default via USB-C. This also has audio controls as well as cast, stop casting, mute, and unmute. So this is a little speaker in there. So we'll go ahead. Let's take a look what's underneath the carton here. We got more boxing. Okay. Probably need power. That would make sense. Go ahead. What do we have here? Oh, this little guy. This, I mentioned that's kind of the heavy hoss that does a lot of work. This is the thing that receives everything. You put this on top of your display or mount this on the wall, however you need to. But what ends up happening is it ends up broadcasting back to this. On the back, you have a USB port. The USB port is for the camera that we'll get to dig out. It's a 4K camera with AI zoom, which is really slick if you have multiple people in a room, or maybe you don't. Because it's 4K, it'll actually crop the image to only show the people that are in there. Power in the middle, and then HDMI on the side. So this is really designed for modern units. And then there's just a little synchronization button. So that guy is going to go there. See what else we've got. Got our accessories. I'm going to come back to that one because we already know what that's going to be. This one should be our USB cable. This is going to go from the camera to this receiver unit. So we'll come back to that guy here in a moment. I know I'm burying the lead, but there's something real fun about what that cable is. We have an extension cable. Maybe something somewhere is not long enough. I love that they include this little stuff in here. You know, I was checking out the new Apple AirPods. I know this has nothing to do with that. But you know, Apple's including no cables. There's like no way to charge your phone when it comes from the factory, you know. And so here we have an abundance of cables. Here's an extension cable for us if we don't have enough space. Here's our HDMI cable, so we can plug it into the TV. I mean, this is how people make their money. They sell you these cables. They're overpriced. Fanvil, they just gave it to us. This is ridiculous. It's almost like they hate money. We have our remote control sitting right here. I love this little guy. This is really just predominantly to control the camera itself. Oh, that was nice. You have your AI manual modes where you can use this to track your zoom. As I said, AI is great because what it does is if there's 3 or 4 people in the room, it recenters it. And we're shooting at 4K. And the picture, when it zooms in, obviously not going to be as great, but it makes it so that the room feels smaller. So honestly, the 4K features are more about the fact that it can fit a big room and zoom down and still have reasonable quality for your Teams call. So that's pretty great. We'll set that guy over here. Then we have the camera. This thing, here we've been talking about it. She looks great. She's made out of metal. There's a button on top. There is a, you know, optics cover here, so you can just twist that. So maybe you got some people that are a little worried about privacy. You just twist this, does what it needs to. It's got a screw, like a screw port on the bottom, so you can use any type of anything that is designed for a camera, like a tripod, anything like that. It's all that standard sitting right there, so you can do that. But of course, also just like our receiver unit, it can be mounted so that it can be on top of a screen as well. Not sure how well it'll fit on here because of weight, but not too shabby. On the back of it is our USB-C. Remember, we have our cable sitting out here, plugs in there. Some fun little touches. This is a right angle USB-C, so it's designed so that it can go up or down based on the mounting, just to make it nice and easy for you. Some clever little thinking ahead for you. It's as if somebody did try to use a product like this. So we'll go ahead, we'll put you back up there, buddy. Great job. Now, what about that last cable? Why was I so excited about that? Well, I mentioned how this came with all kinds of stuff, and it really is wonderful. But you saw that there was only USB-C on that first. Well, what if your computer doesn't have USB-C? Well, you're screwed. Wait. They even include an adapter that it allows you to use the HDMI port on your laptop, and then to power the whole thing, because the USB-C lets it power it as well, you can use a regular USB or USB-C. So this is super flexible as long as your device supports HDMI and has a couple extra USB ports. It's pretty great. So the chances of this device working with your computer, pretty high. Just plugs right into here. And then now you can go HDMI to USB. So there it is. Everything you could possibly need. It's all easy to set up, plus the camera's sitting over here. And you could be projecting on a screen just in moments. In fact, there's a reason that this monitor's here. Why don't we play around, find out? Ta-da! And we're back. All right, so what do we have here? We have a receiver module that is doing its absolute best to hang on. Of course, this is a tiny monitor, so there's not much thickness here, maybe a couple millimeters. So all the cables hanging out on it do put a little extra unbalanced weight. And so we are seeing some weirdness with that. I will say, in our we do actually have one of these units as well, and we've noticed very similar issues because it's it's an OLED screen, so it is very small. So if you don't have a ton of bezel, you may have some of this. Now, I say all of that, we have not had our unit fall, which is pretty surprising, but there is quite a bit of weight coming off of the back of that receiver. Interestingly enough, though, despite the camera being significantly heavier, it is way more balanced, and it's a lot more controlled in terms of it's holding itself up. So it's interesting. Like you've got this 4K camera. It's mounted exactly the same. It's far sturdier, even though it's significantly heavier. But I think it's just all about balance, and we've got that kind of being proved here. Now you can see, really, all you have is you have a status light here. We're on our screen. It's telling you, look, we're ready for connection. So I guess we're ready for connection. We have our puck. I told you this is really, you just have this sit on your table and people just come in, grab it. We leave this little adapter sit here as well. You know, like I said, it's got this nice little hook. Leave it there, whatever you need. So if you don't have USB-C, which is what this needs by default, everything over one cable. It's fine if you don't. You can break it apart here. On the iPad, it's going to be a little bit different in terms of what our style is going to look like. But at the end of the day, it's still going to work. So, you know, let's check it out. All right, so we'll go through for fun. Everything wraps around it. There's this beautiful rubber sort of holding everything in, makes it so that it all stays neat and tidy. As a result, you do get a pretty reasonable amount of cable. At the end of the day, this is just really designed to plug into your computer. So we'll go through and we'll plug it all in. It's okay. It's my first day. And then what's going to happen, you'll see here the device kind of lit up for a second, powers on, and then as each device is ready, it goes green. Our audio is ready. So whatever we were to play out of it can go through there. We have our cast button ready. There's also a microphone in here, and it tells your phone, or it tells your device that there's a camera attached as well. All right, let's take a look at the magic. I'll hit cast, and there you go. You can see our awesome website sitting here in glorious like 4:3 or 16:10 or something, just because that's the aspect ratio of the iPad. Now, depending on the device that you have, you can expand your desktop if you're using a regular laptop. No issues there. If you mirror it, you know, you'll probably get a little bit better quality than I'm getting. You won't have these black bands. That's purely because of the source coming from the iPad. There is hardly any lag compared to the two systems. It's really smooth, really slick. And gosh, this has made collaboration for our team so much simpler. And at a fraction of the cost of the Barco units, can't argue with it either. Now, I do have a couple of gripes. First one is that the audio does not go to your TV or sound system that you have. Any audio that comes out as a result comes out through this device. And it's fine. You're not going to win any audiophile awards or anything like that. That's not really what it's meant for. It's got a microphone, it's got the speakers. But what I don't like is that if you're in a bigger room, it isn't always as loud. And two, it really messes with the soundstage, right? Because let's say I'm picking up and I'm doing a meeting and I'm looking at my screen. We're all gathered around the screen. I'm staring up in front. Well, what if the guy presenting is behind me? Well, then the speaker is behind me. So that means that I'm hearing the talker, the presenter, speak behind me while I'm looking forward. I know it's a nitpick, but it does sort of bother me a little bit. I really wish with everything that they're doing, it's incredible that we can't also do the audio streaming as well. I like that this feature is here though. I don't want to see them get rid of it. I would just love to be able to toggle between whether the audio goes through the screen or goes through this device. End of the day though, it's completely turnkey, so you can't be too concerned with it. When you're done presenting, just hit the cast button again. TV goes idle. You're ready to go for another day. And that is the Fanvil CA400 all-in-one conference solution. I think it'd be a great addition to your business, your collaboration spaces, or even your conference room. Check us out. Reach out. I think you're going to want one of these. All right. Bye.